we are. Happy Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hi, Nicola.
Hi,
Got the
so good to
Podia
see
team here.
you.
Good to see you too. Hi, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful, fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for being here with me and Nicola today. I know I speak for myself. The fact that you guys have carved out time to be here to listen to me talk, hopefully teach you or talk about my favorite topic, which is lead magnets and how to create lead magnets that is going to be one of the critical pieces of your entire marketing. It is truly a privilege for me. So thank you so much. We do have a packed hour today. So the first part of it, I'm going to take you through all the steps that I go through with my clients and for myself over the years to create lead magnets that is going to do the heavy lifting for your business, is going to be the workhorse that's going to make everything else in the process of packaging, promoting, and selling your brilliance, your expertise much easier. And you will see how you can really just follow along this process and be able to get there. And then the second part of it, we're going to have Nicola show us how to set up your new lead magnet on Podia, because I know firsthand, just having conversations with so many of you, that the technical part of things is also another big roadblock that keeps a lot of you from just moving forward and having all the right pieces in place. Again, lead magnet is one of the critical pieces that you definitely want to get right in your business. Um, very quickly before we get started, and I'll share my screen because we have a pack hours. I know a lot of you might not know me. My name is Eli Natoli, and I'm a marketing strategist. I've been in the marketing space for almost, I want to say, decade and a half, maybe even close to 2 decades. So I'm pretty ancient, guys. But marketing really kind of fell onto my lap. I had a web design and development agency, and I needed to learn how to use online marketing to be able to get in front of clients and sell our services. And the more and more that I looked into how to make it work for our agency, I just fell in love with marketing. I am truly obsessed with marketing. But from the very beginning, the way that I really view and have and implemented it into my business and teach it is really by honoring the two sides of the equation, honoring myself as a human being who has this expertise or a solution, and making sure that in the process I don't lose my voice or who I am and how I normally interact and connect and talk to people. So I didn't want to lose myself in the process. And also honoring the people who are on the receiving end, the prospects who are interacting with my marketing pieces, whether it's a written something or here live with me or something that like they're watching or what have you, wanted to make sure that I am also honoring them, that I'm leading with all my marketing initiatives and using them as a vehicle to help them make an informed decision, not to coerce them, not to pressure them, not to manipulate them, but to just give them everything they need to make that informed decision. And you will see that play out in this lead magnet training. You will see how I kind of use both sides of the equation, not to lose myself and to honor the people that I am getting in front of. You will see how that kind of sprinkles throughout this lead magnet training. And by the way, this training is very much meta too, meaning that you can listen and follow along. Of course, you're gonna have the recording, but you can also watch me because a live training is also a lead magnet. You can watch me. I'm actually everything that I'm going to teach you, I'm doing right now. Okay. So on both sides, you're getting the full experience. All right. Awesome. All right. So very first thing that I really need to make sure that I communicate here today, just in case that if you guys haven't thought about lead magnets the way that I'm going to talk about it, is this. I personally think, having been in the marketing role, both promoting and marketing and selling my own expertise from my coaching practice, I have two businesses, by the way, and for our other business and helping clients. I am 100% convinced that if you can figure out how to make this one piece, your lead magnet, work for your business, everything else will actually come together for you a much like more smoothly. And you will, like, to me, lead magnets are like a glue that holds everything else together. And you will see very shortly why I say that, because there are some upfront work that I'm going to take you through and talk to you about. That when you go through that upfront work, the prerequisite before you actually create your lead magnet, and when you actually then go through and create your lead magnet, if you follow this process, then you have the knowledge and you have the evidence of exactly what your audience wants. You're going to be able to attract the right clients, people who actually need your solution. And they're, the people that you're going to get on your email list, they're going to be already primed and really interested. So it, in a lot of ways, it's going to do a lot of heavy lifting for you. Okay. So don't underestimate the power of lead magnets. I know a lot of people look at it and say, oh, it's just a freebie. It is an afterthought for a lot of people, but it is bigger and much more important than just a freebie. Okay. So one of the things that I hear, well, more than one of the things, several things that I hear all the time from people when it comes to lead magnets, and you might have experienced this yourself if you have put together a lead magnet, is either you pour your heart into creating one, and it could be a guide, it could be a checklist, it could be a video, it could be a quiz. It doesn't matter what format. You've spent a lot of time, you created one, but it just sits there on your social media platform. You know, you talk about it, maybe it's on your website, but it feels like nobody wants that lead magnet. Or it, you get people to grab it, they join your email list, but it seems like they don't actually, it doesn't translate to anything. It doesn't translate to clients. And one of the bigger symptoms that I hear from people is the people on my list are just broke. So if any of this has happened to you, or plain and simple, you're just confused, you don't exactly know how to create a lead magnet, then I promise you, by the time we get done with today, you're going to understand how to fix all of this. That is my promise to you. I also know that us marketing folks and my industry, marketing industry, has made lead magnets the most difficult part of this journey. And the reason is because of the way they tell you to create a lead magnet. I always joke about that. To me, like the way that we talk about, like us marketing folks talk about lead magnet, we make it into this like enigma that's wrapped into mystery. It's just so confusing. And some of the things, and I'm telling you these things that I hear, and I've been hearing from day one when I stepped into this marketing world, are things like, and I'm sure you've heard it. If you've heard any of these, put a one in the chat because I want to know if you've heard any of this. Like your lead magnet, oh, don't overthink it. Just make sure that you give them a quick win to your audience. Use them to give a quick win to them. Or make sure your lead magnet is really valuable, like something that you would charge hundreds of dollars. You want to turn that into a lead magnet. Okay. Or by the way, make sure that you don't give away too much because if you give away too much, you're going to overwhelm them or you're going to give them everything they need to know and they're not going to come buy from you. And then at the same time, make sure that it's quick to consume because if it's too big or too much, then they're gonna get stuck in that lead magnet and you're gonna lose them. I mean, take a look at this advice. Number one, none of them is a good measuring stick of look, okay, where do I start? What do I need to do? And how do I go about it? And if you look at it, a lot of it is contradictory advice. How do you make it quick to consume, but also make it very valuable at the same time? You don't give away too much. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. It's nonsense. All right. So what I want to do first with you guys is first to go through the top three things that highly likely you have heard about, like the type of advice that you have heard and maybe you have followed. Because if I can kind of break that apart and kind of go into the nitty gritty of what not to do, then hopefully we can start from a like a bare, nice, solid ground, and then we can talk about what to do and what to follow and what's, how to structure your lead magnet. Sounds good? So I really do think that there are three things that when it comes to lead magnets, people, the advice they follow, and it is the very reason if your lead magnet is sitting there and nobody wants it, and it is the very reason that if people have grabbed it, they're not buying from you. So, number one, the very first thing that a lot of people really get fixated on is the format of your lead magnet. Because we all know marketing world is all about shiny objects. When I first came into the online marketing world, it was all about like a little guide or like a half a page PDF of something that you turned into a lead magnet. Then became like this bigger guides, like an ebook. And then, came along videos and then challenges and we have quizzes. And now I think we have scorecards and assessments and on and on and on, right? These are all different formats that you can create and turn into a lead magnet. And people get so obsessed about the format. They feel like, if I have this guy that hasn't done well, then maybe I just put it aside, scrap it, and I'll just go do this quiz thing because everybody says quizzes convert better. But what I want you to really, really hear me today is this. It doesn't matter what format you use, okay? If you give your audience, your prospects, the people who are your ideal fit clients, the right experience with your lead magnet, it will do what it's designed to do. And we're going to talk about what that experience is, but just stick with me for now, right? Your lead magnet has a job. And you can make sure that job gets done regardless of the format. And one of the biggest problems that you're going to run into if you follow this advice, if every time there is a shiny object in the online marketing world, and you say, you know what, my video as a lead magnet is not doing well, or my PDF is not doing well, I'm going to go do this. One of the biggest things that's going to happen, and I promise you, because I have so many conversations around this very, very topic, is that you will have problems in your entire marketing and you will never know what part of your marketing is not going to work, is not working. And to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let me talk about a client example. A client of mine, Barbara, came to me. She had spent a great deal of money with an agency to put together a quiz funnel. And her quiz funnel actually was attracting people. She was getting subscribers through her quiz. And when she came, she grabbed a paid consultation, and her question was, can you help me figure out why people go through my quiz funnel? They want it. She had, I think, like almost 1,000 people go through it, but they immediately unsubscribe. And the people who are there, they're not opening up my emails. What's happening? Something's wrong with my emails. But the issue was that when I looked at her quiz, yes, at the origination, the page, the copy that talked about what this quiz is was really well done. But the experience that she was taking people through and the experience that she was giving people through her lead magnet was the problem. Okay. Have you ever gone through a lead magnet, grabbed a lead magnet, regardless of the format, and thought, this was crap? And then you kind of moved away. It was sort of like that. Okay. The experience was crap. And so when people experience that, they're going to tune you out. And so do you see the problem? She's thinking my emails are the problem. And so forever you're going to try to fix different things where in reality, the thing that was the problem was your lead magnet. Okay. So format does not matter. You can pick any format. I have lead magnets with all types of formats, and they all have done amazing for my business. It's just the experience that you need to give to your people, and we're going to talk about that. So that's thing one. The second thing is that I want you to really put out of, if you have followed this advice, don't even think about it anymore, is make it quick to consume. This advice is BS. Okay? And again, the thing that I always hear from people is like, Ellie, how long should my lead magnet be? How big or how small should my lead magnet be? And I always tell people as long as it needs to be. Okay. Again, going back to the experience, your lead magnet needs to be as long as it needs to be to give your people the experience that they need to have. All right. So, to give you an example, this is a book that I wrote in 2016. It's about 160 pages, but it's structured correctly. Okay, even though it wasn't meant to be a lead magnet, the structure of it gives it the right experience to my audience. And I ended up 2 years ago turning it into a lead magnet. And so far, as of today, more than 2,200 or so people have grabbed it, and it has been one of the biggest conversion tools, one of the best ways for my audience to get to know me and to work with me, whether through my programs or one on one with me. 160 pages. Similarly, for years and years, I had a lead magnet. It was just a video, pre recorded video that was only 11 minutes long. And that was one of the best vehicle that got me in front of a lot of my prospects and did wonderfully in terms of giving them the experience they needed to know that I'm the right guide and the solution that I'm talking about is the right solution for them. So, how long it needs to be, as long as it needs to be. Don't worry about that. Okay. Put away these ideas about quick to consume and, give them a quick win. Put away this idea altogether. It is total BS. Okay. And the last thing that I want to talk about is you have to make sure your lead magnet is really, really, really valuable. The problem I have with that is how do you even begin to know what's valuable? Because what's valuable to me might not be valuable to Nicola, right? It might not be valuable to you. Valuable is such a subjective term. All right. So if you are using that as a measuring stick, you're always going to end up with a lead magnet that is not going to do its job. And a very simple example I'm going to give you is this. If I knocked on your door tomorrow and I said, hello, I have $5 million. Would you love me for it? Would you want that? Raise your hand if you would use it's $5 million. It's valuable, right? I would love it. But what about to this guy? A guy who's lost in a desert, thirsty. Would he find $5 million valuable? As silly as this example is, that is truly what happens with your lead magnet because your audience, they're in different parts of their journey. They are dealing with different things. And when you use the term valuable, you're just never going to come up with the right lead magnet and you're never going to give the right experience to your audience. So please, these three things, if you walk away today from this training and you forget everything I say from this point forward, which I hope that doesn't happen because I have a lot of great things to share with you guys. What I want you to do is, I'm realizing this is not minimized. Why is that? Oh, here it is. It went away. Um, is to really think about these three things. If you at least don't follow these three bad advice, you're gonna be so far ahead than a lot of people who are not here today, who didn't hear this advice. All right. Are you guys ready? Now let's talk about the three critical things that I want you to think about when you are creating your lead magnet. Okay. The very, very first thing that I want you to think about is I want you all to get obsessed with your ideal buyer's problems. Okay. And this actually goes beyond understanding who they are, understanding their problems, understanding their stuck points, understanding their desired outcome. That is too simplistic. Okay. 10 years ago, when information was not readily available, pain point marketing, that's called pain point marketing. Pain point marketing was really a good way to get in front of your audience to help them understand that you understand their solution or their situation. Today, where we are, everybody has enough information. Okay, so pain point marketing for you to understand what problems they have and what outcome they want. Of course, you want to know those, but it's just too simplistic. Okay, when you think about a topic that you want to go into the market to turn into a lead magnet, What you need to think about is not like, what do I need to create that would solve this problem that they have? It's about asking yourself, and I use the word obsess because it will require a lot of digging. It's getting obsessed about why. Why are they still struggling? Like I said, we're in an age right now where information is everywhere. Your ideal prospect doesn't matter what niche, what market, what solution you have right now, they have enough information. So ask yourself, why is it that they still haven't solved the problem for themselves yet? What's happening with them? What advice are they following that might be derailing them? What things are they doing that is backfiring or derailing them? What mindset or other things, maybe the way they grew up, maybe their environment, maybe like a lot of maybes. The more time you spend here, not just for your lead magnet, but for your overall marketing, the more time you spend here to understand what your audience is doing, that they still haven't been able to solve the problem, they're still stuck. Obviously, there hasn't been a shortage of courses and coaching programs and coaches and masterminds and on and on and on. Why are they still stuck? Okay. So when you look at that, when you create a list and have a good answer for yourself, like where they are, what solutions are following that is derailing them, what approaches they're following that is going to backfire on them, what they're missing that nobody else in your industry is talking about. That's another key point. That's one side of the aisle. And then you also take a look at obviously where they want to be. What result do they want? What does success mean to them? What does transformation mean to them? Right? So what are they trying and where do they want to get? And again, keep asking yourself, why haven't they been able to solve it? Why haven't they been able to get this result here or get to that version of success or have that transformation? That's where your lead magnet lives. Your lead magnet should bridge the gap between all the stuff that they're trying and the solution they're trying to get to. It's not about solving any problem in your market. It's not about solving surface level problems. It's about going way, way deeper. And I really want you to, if you have a notepad, write obsessed. I've been obsessed from day one with solving the right problem for my audience. Keep going back to the drawing board. And as long as you have that obsessive behavior, I know it's OCD level behavior, I'm telling you, it's going to pay off big time in your marketing. All right. So that's thing one. The second thing that you need to think about when it comes to lead magnet is what I call your why you factor. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the last screen here. All the stuff they're trying here to solve the problem, maybe advice they're following, solutions they're trying, this, everything that they're doing that is not working for them. What do you bring into the conversation? How do you solve those problems for them? Okay, so you can actually go back and take a look at, okay, they're following these approaches and these are the reasons. Just like at the beginning, I was telling you, like these approaches is what people follow to create lead magnet. That I'm asking myself, what do I do when I create lead magnets? Why is it that my way works? Ah, it's because they're doing those things. So it's really thinking about not just what's happening to your audience, but what do you specifically bring into the market? How is your way different than everybody else's way? And why does your way really work? What is it about your approach that is the missing piece in the market? This in itself, again, is something that I highly, highly recommend spending a lot of time to really dig in out. This is, I mean, when it comes to marketing in general, when I work with clients, we spend a lot of time just to dig out the why you factor. Because if you don't understand what you specifically bring into the market, into your niche, and how you solve the problem specifically for your audience, you will forever talk about surface level stuff. But the moment you understand why you, what's different about you, what's unique about you and your solution, all of a sudden your voice is going to be much different than everybody else's voice. So in the long run, all parts of your marketing is just going to get stronger and stronger. And I want to really have you guys think about, if I wanted to kind of combine the first one and the second one, the understanding what your audience is doing, having, that understanding of what they've tried and also what you bring in to the picture. Really, at the end of the day, what we're doing is giving them clarity, giving your audience clarity, because we're shining a light as to these are the things you're doing that is not working. And they appreciate that. To them, that's valuable because no one's pointing those things out, as well as helping them see how to think about the way forward. And that's where your why you factor comes in. You combine those two, you have a great lead magnet idea. I want to very quickly talk about, like, kind of give you guys an example. I feel like when I give examples, it might kind of bring everything grounded into reality, or kind of help you understand, like, take it from intangible, make it more tangible. A client that I worked with, right? So, Cindy, she actually had spent a lot of money on creating this very high tech three-part video lead magnet with a company. All right. Now, what Cindy does is she helps experts, but not any expert, people who have a very unique message that they want. They really want a bigger stage for that message to be heard. They have this mission or this impact that they're after, and they want to take that message and mission into a bigger audience. And the way that she helps her audience, and I'm giving you all of this context so you can see why that's so important. And she's not just your typical, let me get you speaking engagements on bigger stages. What she really believes and what she has practiced for herself and her clients is that if you can embody the message, so it's not in your head, it's in your body, you can feel it in your heart, you can deliver it with conviction. And when you do that, your audience feels it. And that's how, when you're on the stage delivering your message, is going to just land better with your clients. And of course, those people are willing to work with you. You're going to have a higher chance of having those people work with you, as well as the meeting planners, other meeting planners will be seeking you out because of the way you're delivering this message. Now, the lead magnet that she had put out there was a three-part video, and it was very high tech, where it's like you had to, like, you choose which journey you want to go to and get each video, whichever video, which was exercises that she took people through so they can understand what their speaking style is. So based on that, they can learn how to get on a stage, basically, which was her solution, to get on the right stages and deliver that message. So where she came to me, she said, I've spent all this money. I have this lead magnet. And actually, her problem was she wasn't able to fully fill her program. But when I looked at her lead magnet, for 6 months, she was promoting it, and she only had 3 people to grab it. 3 people. So what we did, and I want you to see the difference. So hopefully this will kind of bring those two things that I said into reality for you, kind of grind it into reality. When I listened and understood exactly what she does and that other people don't, the thing that came out was this. When people get on a stage, they are in their head, and majority of the people who train you to deliver your message on a stage give you stuff to do, like walk here, use your hand this way, look that way, all these different things, like mechanical things. And those are the very thing that gets you out of disconnected from your message and into your head again. So she was actually, what she does, her techniques helps you to get back into your body and really deliver your message from that point of view. And her method is brilliant, by the way. If you're looking to land stages, you should really go check her out. And so the lead magnets, and of course, this is a title, the description and everything that goes with the lead magnet tells a bigger story, was how to land bigger stages without performing or pretending. Because that's what her audience felt. So you see that the research that you do to see why the audience is still stuck, this came out. This was the symptoms underneath the surface pain points, and how she feels it She fills that gap. It's her unique way, her why you factor. And when she rolled this lead magnet out just on social media, this is an email she sent me. I was so excited to see 115 people sign up within the first 15 minutes. Can you guys imagine? 6 months, three people. 15 minutes, 115 people. That's the difference. So I hope as you're like listening to me or like, oh, this is boring, going back to the drawing board. Everybody tells me to understand your audience. I'm telling you, if you look in the right places, not the surface level stuff, but keep asking yourself, why haven't they solved the problem up to now? And how do I solve it? That is different, that is better, that is missing. You will land in a place where you have a lead magnet topic idea. And congratulations. All right, so now you have a topic idea. So, what next? How do you take that idea and put it all together? What do you put inside that lead magnet, regardless of the format, whether it's a video or a cheat sheet or a quiz or an ebook? It doesn't matter. How do you do that so that your audience understands what they need to understand? And I keep talking about the experience, and this is where we're going to get into that. The experience that I'm talking about is this. Majority of the time, when we put together a lead magnet, what we end up doing is stuffing it with a lot of information. But you can give people as much information as you can stuff it with lots of information, but it's not going to really help your audience understand what it is that, number one, they're missing, why they need to listen to you, why you're the right guide to lead them to where they need to get, which is their outcome, and why your solution at this point is the best solution to go forward. Okay, that is the experience they need to have with your lead magnet. And I'm going to ask you all a silly exercise to do, which is in the chat, just put experience. And this is not for me, this is for you. Because I'm kind of creating a, what do you call it, those neurons in your brain? We're connecting lead magnet to experience. I want forever, when you're creating a lead magnet, to think about lead magnets equals experience. The experience that you're going to give to your audience. Okay, your lead magnet needs to take your audience through a journey, a buying journey, not a content library. Because when it doesn't matter what niche or industry, and doesn't matter what the solution is, every single one of us, we go through a buying decision journey. Some of it is emotional, some of it is logical. And if we can address both of those through your lead magnet, if you can structure your lead magnet to give your audience the experience that they need to have, and that's why I keep saying experience. Lead magnets is about experience. So again, they can understand that you're the right guide. They can understand that your solution is the best way forward, the path forward, and that your way is right now the missing thing that they've been looking for. They will want to keep going with you. Okay? Because when you give them a lot of information, they might look at it and go, ooh, this was very useful. Let me put it here in my hard drive. I'm going to come back to it later. But when you structure it and give them that experience, they lean in because they've never heard anybody else talk about their situation, the solution, and the path forward the way that you are going to explain to them. So, how are we going to do that? Because I know this is a tall order, but it is doable. And again, by the way, guys, everything that I'm teaching you, I am doing here with you. So you can listen to me or come back and see how I go through this. The way that I've structured this lead magnet is very much meta of the structure that I'm going to take you guys through. The very first thing that you want to do with your audience in your lead magnet is meet them where they're at. And when I say that, I don't mean to tell them, if you are dealing with this pain point, this is the right lead magnet for you, or you're in the right place. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the very beginning when I said to look at why they're still stuck. That's where you want to start. You want to pick one or the relevant things that you have noticed that they're doing or they're following, or some things that it is backfiring on them, the reasons that they're stuck, the patterns that is leading to them being stuck. That's where you want to start. You want to start your lead magnet, this experience with telling them. And I'm telling you, when you start that way, when they experience that part of your lead magnet, they will lean in and they go, wow, I've never heard anybody else say it this way. Okay, so that's the first thing that you want to do. The second thing you want to do in your lead magnet, and one thing to mention here is when you structure your lead magnet, you want to take them through this journey in the exact order. Don't like miss the order because it's important for them to go through that buying decision journey exactly in the sequence. The second thing is help them see their situation from your perspective. And the way you can help them see the situation from your perspective is going back to your why you factor. What do you bring into the solution? How do you solve the problem? Why is your way the missing situation, the missing solution here? And you want to talk about that. You want to say the reason that you're stuck is because you're doing these things that is backfiring on you. But when you do these, this is what's gonna where this is where it's gonna lead. And I did that at the beginning with you guys. Remember how I said three things not to do? I wanted you guys to see things from my perspective, and that's what you want to do. After that, you want to help them see you as the trusted guide. How do you do that? Well, it's simply showing them a better way to move forward. I'm doing that with you guys today. I'm showing you three things that you need to do to be able to put together a lead magnet that is going to be the workhorse behind the scene to get in front of your ideal buyers and get them on your email list and prime them to become buyers. Now, notice I'm not sitting here and talking about my workshop or my program or my coaching or how to work with me or let me go through and tell you how many modules I have in my program. I am showing you the I would call it maybe the pillars or the main parts of my solution. So if someone comes to work with me to create their lead magnet, these are the things that I would go through with them, help them understand their audience, their why you factor, structure their lead magnet. But I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about what the solution is from a higher level, 10,000-foot view. That's what you want to do here. You want to talk about the need, not the detail or the nitty gritty of your solution, but what are the higher level parts, points that you take your audience through to give them that solution. When you do that, if they've experienced the other two parts that you have done beforehand, then when they get here, because they have never heard anybody else explain it that way, their chances of seeing you as a person with the right solution goes higher. The next thing that we want to do is help them see your solution as a logical path forward. And one of the ways that you want to do this is basically when you are talking about your solution, in a lot of ways it goes hand in hand with the step before. You want to give them the reasons why your solution actually works. So sometimes you can do this as you are talking about, as you're going through the steps. Notice when I was going through each step, I was telling you the reasons why this you want to do it this way, why this way is better, why this way is the it's going to get you out of the situation that you're in right now. And that's what you want to do. Sometimes you want to do it that way. Sometimes you can do it. You can go through your steps and then at the end, kind of do a summary or recap of all the things they would experience and why this way is a better way. And then and only then, at the end, you invite them to lean in. And if they're curious, to work with you, enroll with you, or how to, to join you, to get that help from you. If you do all these steps, this part, even if when they experience this lead magnet, even if right there and then they're not ready to enroll with you or work with you, what's going to happen is because of the, again, experience you've given them, they will stay tuned into you. When you send emails, they will open up your emails. And when people that I work with, when they go through creating lead magnets like this, one of the biggest things that they tell me is like the biggest surprise is, oh my gosh, all of a sudden my email open rate and click rate has gone really, really high. And that's what you want. Now, one thing I want to very quickly go through, just because I feel like I want to give you an example of this last step is this. This is another client that I worked with who had put together a lead magnet, which was this massive training that he was giving away. So he works with office administrators, and office administrators work with a lot of spreadsheets because there's a lot of data and reporting they do, employee data, invoicing, this and that and the other. And they spend, if you talk to any office managers, or if you're an office manager, you know that how many hours a week they spend just on these reportings. And what he does is he helps them create what he calls an access database, where at a click of a button, all of that reporting gets done. But office managers are not programmers by nature. And so basically, everybody's getting in front of these people and saying, you need to have an access database, program it, and then you can, does the heavy lifting for your job. But they don't know how to learn access database. And that's what he was doing. He was taking them through this training, this massive information-based training, teaching them access database. Of course, 51 people had gone through. I don't know what the completion rate was, but only two people had actually bought a low ticket. I think it was like $47 program from him. So what did we do? Again, we went back. When we looked at his audience, we understood one of the biggest thing is his audience are not programmers. They're afraid of programming. And coincidentally, how he was solving the problem was psychologically. He was helping them psychologically understand programming. And he's not a programmer himself either. And that was beautiful. And really, in his lead magnet, we talked about 7 things that they need to think about to be able to easily understand access database. Do you see the difference between one lead magnet to the next? So what was the difference? 374 people grabbed his lead magnet and he sold out his $2,000 program. That's the difference. So these 3 parts that I took you through, it works, guys. And the evidence of how, when you put it together like that and you come up with a lead magnet topic idea, is that when people see it, the conversion rate, even from the beginning, goes up. I mean, majority of my lead magnets are performing above 60%, which is in an online marketing world is unheard of. Okay. This almost 2,000 people have grabbed it. This is a training that I used to run one off. Every one of them converted above 60%. This is a toolkit and this is massive too. I used to give out 2,300 went through, 72% conversion. This is what happens. Okay, so I'm going to quickly wrap up here because I know that we got to walk you through the lead magnet, setting up your lead magnet. So to recap, again, 3 things: get obsessed with their problem, find your why you factor, and structure your lead magnet to give them an experience. One thing that I want to say here, I'm going to skip through here. If you guys want to have me on my team, structure your lead magnet from beginning to the end, the way that I described it, you can join my workshop. It is a done for you parts of it and then done with you parts of it. Here's a QR code, or go to elinatoli.com/convert. It's $297. And again, we'll do all of that with you. We'll look at your audience, your why you factor, pick your topic idea, create your lead magnet, help you structure it to give people that experience that they need to. All right, Nicola.
That was
All
so
yours.
great. Yes, thank you so much. I am going to now take all of that amazing information and show you how to put it all together technically behind the scenes in Podia. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. In Podia, you've got a few different ways you can set up a free lead magnet, which, as we learned in this session, the format is not as important as the actual content you're creating. So you've got tons of options here that you can work with. I'm going to start by clicking into the product section, and then I'm clicking new product. And these are all the different types of products you can create, and you can set any product you make to free to make it that free lead magnet. We're going to use a download today, and I'm just going to do my awesome lead magnet. We'll do a PDF, and I'm going to click Create Product. And this is where you can add the files from whatever you've created. And you can add pretty much any file that's on your computer. You can also make different sections for your lead magnet. So if you do have, several different pieces and you want to organize them a little bit, that's a nice way to do it. So you're going to add your file. I'm going to grab one off my computer. And you'll see that upload there. Then in the Details tab, I'm going to have a name for my product. And this name, image, and description are important because whenever you share this product on your Podia website, it's going to pull in this information for you so you don't have to do a ton of copy and paste. I'm going to grab an image from Unsplash that's automatically connected. So you can search a keyword that's related to your business or your product. I'm going to try a compass. I have a lot of nice compasses. Here we go. And then let me grab a little description text. This is a short 1 or 2 sentence area where you can describe your lead magnet to your audience. And you don't have to get super in depth right here because you will make a full landing page for your product where you can tell them more. This is just a quick little space where you can let people know what it is. See if that'll save. There we go. Then in the pricing tab, you've got a few options. Right now it's set to free, which would work really well. If your product is free, someone will click into it. They will see a Get It Now button. They can create an account with your business and get it for free. But you also have another option, which might be a better fit if you have a file or a video or ebook that you're sharing, and that's free email delivery. What that will do is when somebody types in their name and email address to get your product, Podia will automatically email it to them so you don't have to do any technical stuff. And then they will have it and they will be added to your email audience automatically. So you can follow up with them in an automated campaign or in your newsletter, however you want. So we're going to use free email delivery for this one. And then you also have some other features here, which are a bit more useful for paid products and maybe other offers. But for example, if you wanted to have a future start date, you could do that. You could add a sign up limit where you only have a certain number of seats, and you could add a duration if you wanted to only give people access for a certain number of days or weeks, for example. So I'm going to click publish. And now we're going to set up a quick little landing page for this product that you can share with your audience. You can put it on your social media, you can share it in your newsletter. And to do that, I'm just clicking Edit Page. And that's going to pull us right into the Podia website builder. And anywhere on this screen, you can click this little plus sign and you can pull in other parts of your website. So you can grab an image section, a text section, FAQs, testimonials, whatever you need to tell people what your product is all about. And this can be a great way to really start that journey process, to start letting your customer know that you understand where they're coming from, you're meeting them where they're at. So you can add in all kinds of modules like this. I'll go ahead and do testimonials, which are always great to have after you've had a few people go through your product. And then you can also customize the way this website page looks. So I clicked into this top section, and I'm going to go down here. I'm going to choose the option to show a name field. And you also can customize what happens after someone puts in their name and email address. So if my customer is on this page and they're really excited, they put in their name, they put in their email, they're going to click Get Now. The files are going to be sent to their inbox. That's all good to go. You can choose what then happens immediately after. So by default, they're going to see a message that can just say, thanks for subscribing, thanks for signing up. You can also redirect to a page. This can be a page you build on your website. And I've seen some really cool uses of this. Some people will have a thank you page where they give more information about their business, or maybe they share a few other top blog posts or great YouTube videos or how to stay in touch on social. So you have a lot of options you can do here. Or you can also redirect to another URL as well. So we're going to leave a message for now, and it'll just say, thanks for subscribing. And I'm also going to do a little bit of design here. I'm going to make that a little smaller so the title's all on one line. And then we'll put this on a dark background to really make it pop. But again, this is all just extra stuff. So when you click publish and view site, this is now live. Someone can come here, put in their name and email. They'll click Get Now. Then within the next few minutes, they will get that file that I added to the product just a few minutes ago. That will be sent to their inbox, and I will see them in my audience in Podia. And I'll show you how that would work. So you've got your audience tab here. They're going to start filling in here with all the people that have signed up so you can see them and you can contact them. You can also filter based on what they have. So if you want to only see people who've signed up for your lead magnet, you can use this filter and pull up the product you want to search for and see it that way. The last thing I want to show you also is a part of that journey piece where you are building this relationship with this person, showing them how you can help. And that is with your email broadcasts and campaigns. So you can send one-off broadcasts. This is your newsletters, your product updates, your exciting announcements, new products. But you can also run automated campaigns, and these are going to work behind the scenes for you whenever someone signs up for your lead magnet, you can be in touch with them right away. I'm going to click new campaign, and we'll call this lead magnet welcome. And the condition here, someone will enter this campaign when they gain access to my lead magnet. So now, whenever someone gets my lead magnet, they will automatically start getting this series of emails. So I'll click new email. You've got a bunch of pre-made templates here you can choose from, and you can change the colors and fonts and all that. You can also start from scratch, or if you have already sent some emails in your account, you can use those as a starting point. So you can make one that looks really good and you really love it and use that as your template moving forward. I'll pull this one in for this example. I can go in here, copy, paste, add new content. I can fix my links. I can add buttons. I can say whatever I want to say. What I would do in this email with a welcome sequence for a lead magnet, I would spend some time just getting to know the person who signed up, sharing information about my approach, who I am, what I do. And you can schedule this to be sent 0 days after they sign up, so the same day, or 1 day or 2 days, etc. And then you can add another email to that sequence. And you could put this one to go, let's say 5 days after they sign up. And you can build out this series of emails that's going to run for this person until they reach the end of the series of emails, where you tell them about the journey that you're on together and what other products might be helpful to them. And that's all built in. Once you click done, and I'll say finish later, and then we're going to make this live. This is this is real. So now someone who signs up for this product really will, I'm going to turn this off after the session, but they really will get the file delivered, and then they will get those 2 emails on the schedule that I set. And you can set that up once and have that run in your business behind the scenes for as long as you like, and you can edit it at any time. So that's a really great way to, when you have their attention because they've signed up for your product and they really love it, you can add on to that experience by having these built-in touch points as you go. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we have some time for questions. Thank you guys so much. I always love getting to demo these little bits of Podia. This is so cool. Okay, I see a question here. Ellie, do you mind if I answer this one about how many?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. So how many emails and how long should the lead magnet sequence be? So it really just depends. What you can do is for each lead magnet you have, I would maybe say 2 weeks, send out 3 or 4 emails over a span of 2 weeks speaking specifically to that pain point and that problem. And then they can go into your general newsletter where you're talking to your whole list. I think that's a great starting point. And then aim to be sending your newsletter to everybody once a week. I know it's a lot, but that's the goal.
Yeah, consistency is key. I
Yes.
love
Also, I think,
how intuitive Podia is in terms of setup and structuring. Like it's just like, everything is just set up for the user experience, very user intuitive.
yeah, I love how connected everything is too, where you don't have to be pasting a bunch of stuff together. It's just click on the name of the thing and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So another question, is there a way to pick your personal color scheme? Yes, you can customize the colors and fonts of the emails and the website. So for the site I just showed, that was one of the default color palettes, but you can totally customize that. Yeah, thank you all so much. This was so
Thank
fun.
you.
I love seeing everyone's faces too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, all of you, for spending your
thank
Monday with us. It's a joy for me. Always a joy. With
you.
that, we're going to wrap this session then. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. Bye. Nice meeting
Bye.
you all. Bye.